Arguably, the solution to world unemployment problems lies in development of small and medium-scale enterprises, SMEs. The mounting evidence worldwide points to the fact that most jobs today and in the nearest future will be created in the SME sectors. In China, for instance, SMEs as at today make up 99% of all enterprises in the country, and the output value, according to recent statistics, account for at least 60% of the Chinese GDP, generating more than 82% of employment opportunities in the country. The Nigerian economy, since the attainment of independence in 1960, has undergone fundamental changes. As a nation, Nigeria has been working tirelessly since independence to improve our economic status through several reforms aimed at boosting SMEs development, some of which are, but not limited to, National Directorate of Employment (NDE), Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agencies (SMEDAN), National Agency for Poverty Eradication Program (NAPEP), and several others. Unfortunately, these efforts have not yielded the much desired results, as SMEs remain largely underdeveloped, while unemployment, rather than abate, has assumed a galloping dimension, thus making nonsense of these efforts.
What we have is a general problem across the country, and that is unemployment, both unemployment and underemployment. And the only way to address it is by working with the private sector, because at the end of the day, it's the private sector that can generate the jobs that are needed to take people off the job market.
So many past decades, the effort to eradicate poverty in Nigeria has been clearly stated in policies and so many agencies instituted. But unfortunately, the willpower hasn't been there. And that's why we continuously will leave one agency into another, one policy into another. We have not been able to put together a re-coordinated policy. And then, in the real sense of it, the practice steps that we really need to be able to implement most of those policy dynamics that are actually enshrined in those policies. That has been the major problem.
In Delta State, South Nigeria, the story has been encouraging following Senator Ifeanyi Okowa's promise to do things differently. He identified early in his administration the need to energize the economy through job and wealth creation, as well as employment generation through development and growth of small and medium enterprises, all with the aim of improving overall GDP of Delta State in line with Sustainable Development Goal SDG 8. This strategic thinking birthed many initiatives, one of which is Skills Training Entrepreneurship Program STEP. After due process of recruitment from the teeming army of unemployed, successful applicants were trained and empowered in different vocations and skill sets. The intention of government ab initio was to mentor beneficiaries to become CEOs of their own businesses through development of sustainable SMEs and become job creators rather than job seekers.
With the funds that we're freeing, we needed to start growing our youth in terms of skills training, in terms of youth agriculture entrepreneurship. And we've been running a lot of circles of this and several thousands of youths that have been engaged through this process. And then what you now begin to see is that, it may not be myself yet, but my brother, my sister has begun to have a success in his or her career. So there is hope for me. And those who may not yet have had their turn are hopeful that it's going to get to them tomorrow, and it's quite good.
Youth activity has taken the main budget of Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, because when you look at ministries and NDA like job creation, everything they do there is all about youth. We train them and give them starter pack. And of course, there's also a monitoring team that go after these persons that have been trained, so that whatever team they were given will be utilized.
Now, Sustainable Development Goal SDG 8 seeks to promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth full and productive employment and decent work for all women and men, including young people and persons with disabilities, and equal pay for work of equal value.
Smart Delta.
From creation, man has had three basic needs, which are food, shelter, and clothing. So, in line with SDG 8, beneficiaries and proteges of government STEP training program with tentacles spread all over Delta State. These groups of entrepreneurs have taken to clothing men as their business and have made a lucrative enterprise of it. They have come together under the umbrella STEP Fashion Designers, taking clothing man as their business and have made a lucrative enterprise of it. Take for instance the story of Stephen Iloba, MD CEO, Stephen Africa Clothing, a protege of STEP. Smart Delta went to his fashion house to find out firsthand how he has made a success of his little beginning. Iloba says the training he got on the program is second to none, such that it gave him a sound footing in both design and business orientation aspect of fashion, to the extent he now has a second outfit in Abia State. Iloba wants to take fashion to a different level and hopes his meteoric rise from the seed government planted in him will inspire other youths to take seriously their enterprise.
I was a normal, regular tailor before I heard about the training, and when I got into the training, the business orientation from the program actually inspired me a lot. It changed my perception about tailoring and the business per se. The day Okowa wants to give us machine, he gave me this lovely overlocking machine. Wow. And that was the prayer that day, that I need this overlocking machine. He gave me one of these butterfly machine. He gave me the gen sounding at the back. During the program, he gave me 10,000 every month to sustain myself, transportation. Then he also gave me 90,000 naira to buy fabrics. But that 90,000 naira today has multiplied to this place and somewhere else. Wow.
Iloba further reveals he will forever remain grateful to job creation as their group STEP Fashion Designers will be launching an exhibition in the second week of December to showcase their craft. For him, the sky is only the beginning, as he met his wife, who is also a fashion designer like himself, on the program.
After which I met the governor, after the empowerment, I believed in the dream. During the program where I was posted to, I met a lovely lady, Catherine, and from there I thought we tangled and got married. So I knew I had to be serious. I knew I had to follow up my dreams and make it come to light. Thank God she's a fashion designer, so wherever I'm lacking, she's there to cover it up. God bless him from Okowa. That's why Okowa is 4 as in 4 plus 4.
Catherine Iloba, Stephen Iloba's wife, was full of laughter while corroborating her husband's narratives that they met on the job. She explains that she got attracted to him because Stephen was very serious about his industry, and that was a virtue worth imbibing. She explains that she is an excellent designer, and as educated people, they will leverage on their strength to take fashion in Delta to international heights.
So I got to know him and I understood that if he wants to learn, he likes putting his strength, everything in it. So that kind of became like an attraction. He started sharing dreams of how fashion can grow. We decided to take our education from the university and mix it up with what we're getting from the street. And we decided to say, okay, let's become an international brand. We are not there yet, but we'll go there.
Small and medium enterprises from statistics contribute to local economies by bringing growth and innovation to the community in which the business is located. They also help stimulate economic growth by providing employment opportunities to people who may not be employable by larger corporations. This Steven Africa clothing has afforded the likes of Eloho Comfort, Flora, Enuboda and Favor Nwuzo, who are trainees and workers in this fashion outfit.
I'm really happy because when I actually met him, he has really taught me a lot of things, what I never knew before I came here. So I've learned what so many people would have wished they've learned for a very long time, you know. I've learned a lot from him and I'm glad.
I feel blessed because at first when I was looking for somewhere to put up for this job, I went to other places. I was not at home, I didn't feel like, but immediately I came to this place, I met him. He didn't even look at it like I'm a starter. He was just trying to put me through. I felt at home.
This is like a step up to me because I'm still a student. So even in the course I study at school, the people do say that this is not part of it, but I tell them I want to take this part of life to merge it with what I study in school to be able to get to where I want to get in life.
The development and growth of small enterprises in Delta State is taking a gargantuan dimension as entrepreneurs are stepping up their game and taking advantage of the internet and global trends. Henry Enunoya, the CEO of Gizo Clothing, is an inspiring story. Smart Delta Media couldn't wait to meet this young, handsome man of Delta State extraction. So, it was with excitement we were welcomed into his city complex business premises. Gizo specializes in t-shirts and cap designs. After introducing his team and explaining how he deploys his equipment for work, he didn't mince words to commend the initiative of government, especially the governor, whom he describes as a man with a third eye to train youths in skill set, explaining that was the genesis of his rise and that he intends to be on the world stage.
Or I will still give credit to the governor because it was a platform he created for us under fashion and designing through the STEP program that I was able to get my first experience, which I'm now building on. I'm seeing myself competing with the big fashionistas in the world, the big designers. If they can be accepting my stuff out there, I believe by the time we start doing it in commercial quantity, it's going to take over Africa and the world in general.
Smart Delta asked how he sources his fabrics and comes about his designs, which look every inch foreign. To this, he smiles, acknowledging the fabrics are available locally, while the designs have been improved upon from STEP training. In fact, he exports its products abroad. Hear him.
They are all made here. My materials, I source for them locally, and like this t-shirt you're seeing here is the Gizo brand. Just the way you have the Gucci, the Versace, those foreign brand. This is the Gizo brand. And these things, they are online. They're already selling online. A whole lot of Nigerians living overseas, they do order for my stuff because they've seen it online and they like it. It wows them. Some of them will tell me, no, this thing can only be done here. And I've been able to prove them wrong that it can be done. Within days, it's finished and they get their stuff.
Enunoya further espouses that legacy left by government is creating such impact that cannot be quantified monetarily. If there was any doubt, Chime Chris, who works with him, says he looks up to Enunoya for inspiration and motivation.
I learned a lot from him, such as designing with a graphic app. He inspired me because it's not easy to set up your own empire of clothing designing in a country called Nigeria. So thank God for the privilege given to him by the government to set up an empire like this. And it makes me very proud of him.
Smart Delta.
You better run, come to Delta State. Come and see the good things where Okowa they do. You better run, come to Delta State. Come and see the good things where Okowa they do. I see your job and work creation in Delta. Make the youth say them highlight Okowa. I see good roads everywhere in Delta. Make the people say them cola. Empowerment for the farmers in Delta. Good and quality education. social in Delta. Well-equipped hospitals here in Delta. Peace and security, no level.
At this juncture, curiosity took the better part of us. As the stories were unfolding, the more interesting they became, and naturally, we wanted to know more. This landed us at Mega Echoes Fashion, owned by Precious Nwise. The story of this enigmatic CEO is quite enthralling. She started her enterprise from a one-room obscure store, tucked unceremoniously away somewhere on Ibuzo Road in the heart of Asaba. Today, as she welcomes Smart Delta to her new business premises, it is a huge 5-bedroom apartment.
Smart Delta.
Who supplies you your mannequin? Or what do you call it? See your mannequin.
This lady, who didn't know much about fashion, but for the seed planted in her during her training under STEP, has made the most of this enterprise that she is an ambassador in her own right. She has trained over 100 persons free of cost, over 3 cycles, and an exporter of her unique designs with several fashion shows under her belt. Take a listen.
I discovered that if I go abroad to see what others are doing there, bringing into Nigeria, it will benefit me a lot, it will make me to grow. So I queue into a program, fashion shows. Anytime I discover that there's any fashion show in anywhere, I must make sure I go. And as I'm going, I'm exporting clothes to that place. The last time I went for an exhibition at Kenya, when I went there with my fabrics, a lot of people love it. And as I'm talking to you today, I used to export clothes to them. I have about 100 pieces of cloth I'm sending to US.
Getting set to attend another fashion show in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, most of these fabrics and designs will find their way to foreign markets. Her staff, that were excited tapping from her wealth of experience, spoke freely about their ambition to be better than their mentor, but would not mind the STEP experience.
I actually want to be like my madam, also be better than her too. And I like that she's always focused when she's teaching us. She's always telling us how to do this thing very well. If she sees that you don't know how to do this thing very well, she will correct you. She doesn't shout at you. That is one thing that I like about my madam.
The passion that I have under fashion is just for it to grow more.
Since I started working here, I've learned a lot of things because I've really improved in my sewing skills. This place is the kind of place where you're motivated.
Smart Delta Media team was not done yet as we probed further the development of small and medium enterprises in the state. This time, Ebele Jue, CEO, Arabelli Garments, welcomed us into her world.
Smart Delta.
Her experiences, hopes, expectations, and even anxieties are no different from those of our peers, but however remains very grateful for the government's vision that has made her her own boss.
This is my first time of achieving something tangible from the government. Since I've been hearing government since I was born, this is the first government I've really achieved something. And like I said, oh, God will continue to sustain me and let him give me the strength and the willpower to empower the others. I was fully empowered. I was given industrial weaving machine, 1 manual machine, a big generator, cutting table, some check for rent.
She was excited about their group, Step Fashion Designers. As they're coming together, she believes will open up business frontiers for the group as well as individuals.
One person trained us as our governor, so that we'll have to come together to know ourselves the more. Those are into fashion, then be able to reach out to one another in any area we have problems. And if you have anything to do with the government tomorrow, maybe you are seeking for loan, with that one body that we are, to be easier for us to approach the government.
Her protégés and workers, like in other places, look up to her for inspiration, believing soon they will be owners of their own enterprises.
I'm happy tapping from her because she teaches very well. Even if you want to ask any question, she will answer, then tell you how to keep your clothes and how to match the machine, the rest. When you are sewing, you have many customers, make you earn more money, then you not be jobless. It helps in reducing unemployment.
She teaches us where she makes sure we understand from the cutting to how to sew, everything. If you have questions, you can still ask her. If maybe you are not sewing it very well, she will still tell you, do it like this.
She wants us to be better than her. Certain times she told us, if you have a shop and she pass by and as she see you, and she always tell people, this is the girl I teach work, and now she have a great shop. She try.
The icing on the cake for these beneficiaries is their push to better their lot, thereby fulfilling the vision of government for the initiative in the first place. During a recent meeting at one of their top trainers, where they were perfecting strategies for their December exhibition, financial institutions were in attendance, during which they signified interest to grant long-term loans jointly and severally to grow their enterprise.
The empowerment program is a laudable program. Like what I have seen, there are people that before now, they don't have anything, but they have that creativity. But I can see that what governor have done to them. I've been to some of their shops. I've seen that those people, they are equally training people. It means government has affected them, they have affected other people. So we are interested in them because we want to create a brighter future for them. The facility we are having is 10 years period. Within that same period, they should be able to manage whatever amount they are taking to expand their business.
The banks encourage them to take advantage of their gesture, as they too believe in the business environment being created by the state government.
I want to first of all appreciate the governor with a smart agenda, our result-oriented governor who actually made it possible for us to be a beneficiary. The idea of government is to reduce unemployment in the state.
As we've come in group and we have meetings with the bankers, it will enable us to get facility from them. The government efforts, Arim's design today is as a result of the training I had. Without that effort, I will not become a CEO. Maybe I will be working under somebody, but now I have people working under me and I'm also training people.
This is the best I've seen so far, and I must say a very big thank you to our governor, Dr. Senator Okowa, for what he's done so far so good. This gave me an opportunity to see that something different can come from me. I'm generally in person contributing to the society, providing work for other persons, and this is the basic reason why they created this. So some of us have been able to create jobs, get some people out of the streets, be more useful to ourselves and the society at large.
Smart Delta.
Welcome to Signature Secrets.
Oreva Solomon, a long-time trainer of STEP trainees, took Smart Delta on a tour of our outfit, showing where the incubation of stepreneurs take place. She reveals that over 3 cycles, she has trained over 120 stepreneurs in whom she was well pleased.
Our main vision is raising world-class fashion designers around the globe. Some are in and outside the country. We have them everywhere. And most recently in Asaba, I'm sure you know Precious Mega Echo.
Yeah.
So she's also our breed as well. Let's say 5 years to come. We're going to have designers who will strongly compete with those strong names that you've known before now. It's an avenue to create employment for people, most especially Deltans.
She also spoke on the need for motivation, which helps bring out the best in her workers and trainees.
We started this process of job creation. Till date, there's a lot of difference. A lot of people have been taken off the streets. Unemployed have been employed. Well, for me, I want to encourage the governor to do more. I just pray that someone has to take it up from there even when he leaves.
With STEP fashion designers coming together as a body to take fashion and garments making to another level, these young Deltans are helping Governor Ifeanyi Okowa to build a stronger Delta while they fulfill the vision of government to create wealth and prosperity for all Deltans.
And you can't solve unemployment anywhere in the world, no matter the country, without supporting micro, small enterprises. So what the Governor Okowa is doing today is exemplary and should be emulated. What they are doing here is fundamental to solving our unemployment problem, training people, giving them the funding to start their own business.
Naebo Governor, you are too much! We love you with our heart!
Come to Delta State. Come and see the good things where Okowa they do you better. Run, come to Delta State. Come and see the good things where Okowa they do. I see your job and work creation in Delta. Make the youth say them higher. Okowa. I see good roads everywhere in Delta. Make the people say them cola. Come live in Delta. Say me I say. Come invest in Delta. Come explore the potentials of our state.